Hello, welcome back to my channel. Are you a mommy that is expecting your second child? If so, stay tuned because in this video, I am going to give you my tips on how I prepared for my second baby. But before I do that, if you like this kind of content, please give this video a thumbs up. If you already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscription button. Now let's get into the video. Now, when we have our first child, we tend to over prepare. We buy so many things that we don't need. And we end up not using most of the things that we purchase. For the second child, we buy way less. Sometimes we even forget to buy a lot of the things because we're so busy with our first child. Now, the first thing that I would do, or that I did when I was preparing for my second child and I was almost there, I prepared my postpartum care kit. That was very important because I needed to make sure that I had all that ready to go and that I had everything I needed. So I'm going to show you kind of the things that I bought to prepare, and then maybe you get inspired and buy some of the things as well, or maybe you start to prepare yourself for second baby. So the first thing I did is I got these beautiful always underwear pads. These are so good. I know the hospital gives you mesh underwear with these huge ridiculous pads that are like pillows and a bunch of other things. Now they're super uncomfortable. I went through it with the first baby. Super uncomfortable. I highly dislike them. But then I found these after watching some videos here on YouTube. I found these, and I know they're not very nice, but they're the most comfortable things you're going to wear. You can wear them overnight. You can wear them with your clothes. I mean, you're not going anywhere, especially now with the pandemic, but I mean, they even have a little bow here to make them pretty. I got these on Amazon. They're from Always. I don't remember the name, but I will link them down below so that you can get them. I highly recommend these, ladies. These are awesome. And again, they have like the pad material here. So you can put your tucks on here and then just wear these. I mean, they don't look pretty, but they're very comfortable. Highly recommend these. The other thing that I bought were my tucks. Now the hospital does give you a little tub like this. Maybe, I don't know how they do it nowadays, but they do give you one, but it's kind of small. It probably lasts you about a week or two. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of tucks. Not sure why I still have this, but I got this. The other thing that I bought that I don't have here with me is witch hazel and aloe vera, just in case I needed that. I did use a little bit of witch hazel here, like I put a couple of drops on here, and then sometimes again I will put my tucks on here as well. And then Dermoplast. So Dermoplast, they'll give you Dermoplast at the hospital. I think they'll give you about either one can or two. I'm not really sure, but you want to make sure that you have plenty of Dermoplast here. I got mine on Amazon. I'll go ahead and link that below as well. You have to make sure that you get the one with the blue cap, not the red cap. It's better and it helps you with the healing process better. The other thing that you want to do is get your squeezy bottle here. Now, the hospital does give you a Peri bottle, and this is the one that I got. But if you want to go fancy, I know that Frida baby has one that has a spout that curves up that will make it easier for you to use. I keep things simple. There's no need to complicate anything. So I just used this squeezy bottle. It worked perfectly fine. The other thing that I purchased, and I think I bought about 4 or 5 of these. With my first pregnancy, I bought 3. And then with my second pregnancy, I think I bought, yeah, this one. So it's your girdle. I absolutely loved this thing. As soon as I had my baby, I think on the second day, I put this on and it made me feel so comfortable because then it keeps everything tight together. If you're not into girdles, then maybe this will be uncomfortable for you, but I highly recommend this. Your body starts to kind of mold back to its original shape kind of, but this will help you a lot. It'll make your back feel way better. I will link this one below as well. I got this one on Amazon. Now the thing with these girdles is that almost all of them say that they don't crease. Every single one of them that I've tried creases. So when you wear it, it creases. But I tell you, this was the best thing that I bought. I love this girdle. I'll link it down below. But if you're into girdles, stop, start using this as soon as you want. I mean, within the first week or second week of you having your baby, this will feel not only good on your back, but your belly, and it'll give you a little bit more support. So that should be in your care kit. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't buy things that you don't need. Obviously, after you wear this, you may want to buy normal pads like you normally do, and then just continue wearing those maybe on the second or third week. Depends how you feel, depends what you like, but again, these are amazing. That's to prepare for yourself. Now, to prepare for baby number 2, you would have to buy not a lot of things. I mean, first, you have to make sure that you buy clothes depending on the season that the baby's going to be born in. So for instance, my second baby was born in September, so it's kind of like fall and winter. So I made sure that I bought winter clothes, because then we're gonna have September, October, November, December, and so on. So I made sure that I bought all winter clothes, all blankets, everything for the winter. And I also, when I bought, because I usually buy clothes ahead of time, so when I bought like 9 months or 12 months or what have you, I always think about the season we're going to be in and then purchase clothes, especially if it's on sale. So clothes is a really good one. Now, you can recycle some of the clothes that you currently have from your first child. So if you have bibs that you can reuse, reuse them. Burp rags, reuse them. Any onesies, reuse them. It doesn't matter if it's a boy and a girl. It doesn't really matter. Babies don't know. Who cares? It's money that you're going to save for your second child, because as we will all know, babies are super expensive, but they don't have to be if you already have this stuff on hand. Another thing that you can possibly reuse will be your newborn car seat. Now, those car seats do expire, so you may want to make sure that you see at the expiration date and make sure that they're still good to go. Another thing that you can reuse possibly will be the swings. If the swing is still good, go ahead and reuse it. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can reuse from your first baby and save money there. The other thing would be, the only thing that I think you would have to buy new, that I bought new, were bottles and pacifiers, because I noticed that the bottle that I had for my first son, my second child did not like it at all. So for my first son, he loved the Dr. Brown bottles, and my baby girl could not even, like, as soon as I tried, she would just kind of move it away, spit it out. So I had to try different ones because she was a little bit more difficult to find the bottle that she liked. Pacifiers. If you're planning on giving your baby a pacifier, make sure that you buy several to see which one they like. My son adored the one from the hospital. My daughter was, no, she was very picky with that as well, so I had to buy different ones. I think she settled for the, I want to say it's called the Newbie, but I don't remember. I mean, I'll link it down below. It's the one with the little animal that rests, or the stuffed animal that rests on their chest. She loves that one. Another thing will be your breast pump. Just know that the insurance company does provide you with the free breast pump. It doesn't matter if you already had one with your first child, they will provide another one for your second child. If you have the one from your first child and you want to reuse it, that's fine, but you can get a free one. Maybe you want to try a different brand. For my first child, I had the Hygieia, the worst one ever. And then for my second child, I went for Medela, and that was one of the best ones I had. I gave it away, but I really liked that one. So again, it is free. You just have to have your physician write a prescription. You send it over to your insurance company, and then you select the one that you want, and then they'll go ahead and send it to you. Another tip that I can give you is to start thinking about who is going to stay with your first child. I don't know how it works now with the pandemic. I don't know if you're able to take your husband with you, or maybe your husband has to stay home while you have your baby. I've heard that no one is allowed to be with you while you're delivering your baby. But my brother just had a baby not that long ago, and she had a C-section, so he was able to be with her in the operating room. So I'm not really sure what, you know, I guess it depends on the hospital if you're able to have at least your husband there, or maybe you're there by yourself. I'm not really sure. But you need to figure out who is going to take care of your baby. For me, I had several people telling me that they would be available to take care of my son. And then when time came, it was difficult to find someone to help me take care of my son. And especially with me was a little harder because I didn't know. I went to the hospital to get checked, and I didn't know that I was going to stay. So they had me stay there. And then my husband had to be calling everybody to see who can stay with him. So you want to make sure that you have this plan ahead of time, so that when you feel like you're ready to go to the hospital, this person will be available to take care of your son or your daughter, your first child. The other thing that I recommend, if you didn't do it with your first child, you can do it with your second child, is have either a 3-ring binder ready or a thick folder, because at the hospital they do provide you with a lot of paperwork, and you want to make sure that you keep everything together in one folder. I still have one for each child, and it's so much easier if you need to see something or look at the paperwork or reread something or know what kind of vaccines your child got, then you just go back to your folder and you look at every little thing. So make sure that you keep one of those handy. You want to make sure that you have everything in one place. Another thing is, if you actually use a birth plan, you want to make sure that you start writing a birth plan for yourself. I did one for my first child, and to be honest with you, I absolutely forgot about it. But a birth plan is good because you kind of are telling them what you want to happen. So you want your husband to cut the umbilical cord, you want to be able to be the first one to hold your baby, and then your husband, you know, just things like that. You want a natural birth versus medication. I opted for my first child, I wanted natural birth, and then that changed. That went out the window when I started feeling the pain. For my second child, I didn't even bother to have a birth plan, because I just told them exactly what I wanted and they followed through. And my husband was there actually to make sure that everything went according to my plan. So, but if you want to have a birth plan, it's always good to have it. Just have it in your little folder and just provide it to them as soon as you get there. Another thing that I would recommend is to start meal prepping. If you're closer to your due date, you want to make sure that you have some meals ready for you, because once you have 2 kids at home, it's going to be a little harder for you to get things done until you adjust. The adjustment process doesn't really take that long. I don't remember it being that long. I just had to focus on the routine that I wanted for both kids, and it was a little hard to follow them separately, but then I kind of put them together and did like nap times at the same time and bedtimes at the same time, so that I just did everything at once. Again, it is, at first it's a little overwhelming, it's hard, but then you get used to it. I mean, mommy mode kicks in and you know exactly what you need to do. So again, just prepare for yourself, have your postpartum kit ready to go, make sure that you have plenty supplies so that you don't run out, and also make sure that you have everything ready for your newborn. And I guess that's it. I mean, it is a second child, and it is hard because now there's 2 little ones, especially if they're 2 under 2. It's a little hard and overwhelming, but again, I mean, you done it the first time, you can do it the second time. You will be fine. So I guess that's it. If you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And for those of you who have subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.